If you ask anyone that knows me well, it's no secret that I love music. From R&B, hip-hop, jazz, alternative, you get my steez. Now this is pretty much the intro to how I really started listening to music the way I do now. And it started with this one album in particular. You may get it off this hint alone.
What I see and what I learned out here is just in my heart and it's always going to be with me. But as an individual, I got an imagination. And that's what I use when I make my music. Without no imagination, man, you're not making up nothing. And that's what poetry's all about. It has a lot to do with thought. And Queensbridge is always in me, but I'm just putting down whatever I'm thinking about. You talking about everything you're going through, and as you grow, you learn it, you know what I mean? And each album will be the different experience. It's all about experiences, really. Wow.
I remember the first time I fell in love with music like it was yesterday. From what all my family members said about me, I've always had an ear for it. At the age of 3, I was waking up my mom and pops early in the AM with hangers speaking in French and Swahili. Then my grandma bought me a drum set and I would make beats out of random commercials playing on the TV. I was also 3 years old too. Yeah, I was like that. But there was one moment in particular that made my love for music certified. The first album that I listened to. And this was the first album that I chose and completely listened to by myself. That album was Illmatic by Nas. That's not a bad first album, huh? Now I was 7 years old and I had a PSP as an MP3 player. I always had hella songs on a memory card, just hella singles. But I ran into his album discography by looking up his Live at the Barbecue verse online. I had heard it from one of my neighbors and I tried to type in what I could remember from the song, like the lyrics. I still be doing that shit low key. And I ultimately ran into a link to his album. I already knew who Nas was, but I never took the time to listen to his discography. Or anyone else's discography at all, actually. But I found that out afterwards once I heard Illmatic. With only 10 tracks on that album, it felt like a field trip for my ears. I'm all the way in the West Coast, but it felt like I was in Queensbridge myself. I was also understanding of what I was listening to due to me knowing my surroundings, so it was a lot easier for me to soak in. What he was saying was some real shit. Every hood, every ghetto could relate to it regardless of where you reside at. And man, the production on here was what really got my attention for real. You got DJ Premier, Large Professor, Pete Rock, Q-Tip, and LES. All legends in the game when it comes to music production. And all of their work smoothly gelling with the words of a young 20-year-old poet at the time. This opened up my love for instrumentals and samples. After I heard that album, that's when I really started listening to projects a lot closely. From the album skits to the specific sounds and instrumentals. And one thing I take away from sharing this with you guys is that I am a variety listener. Don't matter if it's old or new. Good music is good music. That's a dope label, by the way. And it's crazy because as I was working on this video, today is the 27th anniversary of the release of Illmatic. It's funny how life works sometimes, right? Definitely wasn't intentional. But anywho, I appreciate you for watching this. Yeah, you coach. Good looking out for the kid. And with that being said, y'all keep that aux cord hot for the summer. Till next time, be smooth, coach. Peace.
It was like, here is me and a picture of me in the projects that I grew up in, a corner that I spent a lot of time on, and the songs are a reflection of what's really going on.